여자할래요.
당신이 내 남자래요. 당신이 필요해요.
Welcome back to the recap of Red Swan episode 5, which can make the audience very excited. When Won-soo was a teenager, she ran very fast towards her house. When she got home, she told her mother that there were several men who wanted to see her. Hearing that, her mother asked Won-soo to say that she wasn't there. The men came in and called for her mother, but Won-soo said her mother was not at home. But they didn't believe it and tore the house apart. They also beat Won-soo until she bled. When the thugs were looking for her, her mother hid in the doghouse. She only watched as her daughter was hit and remained hidden. Won-soo accompanied her mother who was lying in bed. She came to her senses and called the lady and told her to come closer. Her mother asked Won-soo to contact her daughter in America, who is a professional golfer. Won-soo asked why she wanted to see her. It turned out that her mother wanted to apologize for taking her hard-earned money and gambling at the casino. Her mother just wanted to send her daughter to America again. Then her mother had difficulty breathing and Won-soo called her mother. Her mother apologizes to Won-soo and is unconscious. It turns out that when her mother was in debt, it was because she used it to buy tickets to America for Won-soo and her mother. Won-soo and her mother are happy because Won-soo's dream has come true. And Won-soo was very sorry because she found out too late that her mother was sick and in a mental hospital. She didn't even have time to apologize. She cried uncontrollably when her mother breathed her last breath. Do-yoon comes in and calms Won-soo down. She hugs Won-soo tightly. Her brother will take care of their mother's funeral. He would hold a small funeral for both of them, because Chairman Park ordered it to be kept secret. Chairman Park was actually enjoying music at her house and Won-soo approached her. Chairman Park was happy because Won-soo could see her mother one last time before she died. She asked Won-soo to come with her to Yeongmin's meeting with the Chinese ambassador. Won-soo doesn't want to because tomorrow is her mother's funeral. Then Chairman Park threatened that if her business failed, she would lock up Won-soo like she locked up her mother or the next older brother. His brother cremated his mother alone and someone took a photo and reported it. When Won-soo was about to get into the car, Do-yoon asked about her mother's funeral. Won-soo answered that she could not attend. And Won-soo attended the meeting with the Chinese ambassador. They will do Yeongmin's cosmetics business with the Chinese ambassador, so that Cosmo cosmetic products can be marketed in China. Do-yoon only saw Won-soo, who was silent from outside. Won-soo entered Do-yoon's room carrying her mother's ashes. She asked Do-yoon to take her somewhere. While in the car, Won-soo said no one knew where they were going. Then Do-yoon turned off the GPS tracking device and asked Won-soo to turn off her cell phone, and he also turned off his cell phone. And it turns out that someone was spying on them.
지금 출발했습니다.
Mr. Park was confused because he lost the signal from the car Won-soo was driving. He also couldn't contact Won-soo or Do-yoon. And when they got out of the car, someone took their photo. Won-soo walks with her mother's ashes and is followed by Do-yoon from behind. Her husband and brother are confused because Won-soo disappeared. It turns out they went to where their mother used to live. And Do-yoon put a condolence ribbon in Won-soo's hair and also his jacket. Won-soo hasn't come to the house for a long time. She saw the doghouse that her mother used to hide in. She recalls that moment and it makes her sad. Won-soo told him that her son had died. She is too busy to spend much time with her son. Hearing that, Do-yoon sat next to her and made Won-soo lean on his shoulder. He asked Won-soo to cry, so that her heart wouldn't hurt so much. Won-soo cried with Do-yoon, who comforted her warmly. And it turns out someone took a photo of that moment. Do-yoon and Won-soo sail in the middle of the sea and Won-soo scatters her mother's ashes. Won-soo felt that her mother must have had a really hard time in the hospital. Now her mother is free to go anywhere. There is no need to apologize because Won-soo decided to forgive her mother. But the person who locked up her mother, she would never forgive. At home, Chairman Park looks at photos of Do-yoon and Won-soo. It turned out that the person following them was the order of Chairman Park. The two of them returned to the main palace, and Chairman Park, Young-gak and the bodyguards were waiting inside the house. Chairman Park told Do-yoon to come in with Won-soo. Seeing Do-yoon, Young-gak became angry because he disappeared with his wife. Then he slapped Do-yoon until his lips bled. And Do-yoon could only say sorry. Young-gak, who was very emotional, asked Mr. Park to fire Do-yoon. Won-soo was just silent and couldn't do anything. Then Won-soo met Do-yoon in his room because she was worried. Suddenly Do-yoon grabbed her hand and Won-soo came into the room. Do-yoon asks if Won-soo wants to be his girlfriend. Why does Won-soo always hurt herself? And Won-soo asked back, what if Do-yoon became her lover? Be someone she can trust. So, she can trust Do-yoon completely. Show proof when his friend was killed by the person behind the terrorist attack in Manila. Won-soo asked Do-yoon to give her proof that the person who wants her dead is from the Win family. When Young-gak met his mother suddenly slapped him. She called her son stupid and ignorant. Because Won-soo only threw away her late mother's ashes. Is Young-gak afraid that her wife is having an affair with the bodyguard? He suspects her for always cheating on her. Young-gak asked his mother to stop because Mr. Park was there. Then Chairman Park asked Mr. Park to tell Do-yoon that Deputy Leader Young-gak regrets and gives Do-yoon compensation money. His mother knew that Won-soo was holding the foundation hostage. Therein lies all their dirty secrets. So, if Won-soo exposes everything after divorcing Young-gak, then Young-gak will lose his inheritance and management rights. The only way for her to leave their family was only through death. If it's difficult, then Chairman Park will kill her herself, like she did to Young-gak's previous girlfriend, Ko Jin-hee. Do-yoon shows the CCTV footage to Won-soo when Chairman Kim died. It was her father-in-law's body that was removed from that place. Do-yoon explains that Ju-yuk left the videotape for Do-yoon. The Commissar General gave orders to Ju-yuk to analyze the information and discover a mysterious situation regarding the death of Chairman Kim. He hadn't even reported it to the Commissioner General at that time. And someone found out about it and hired someone to kill him. The killer also targeted Won-soo's life. That means they have to find out who killed Chairman Kim, someone who benefited from the deaths of Won-soo or Chairman Kim. But the mother-in-law and her husband had no clear motive for killing Chairman Kim. Do-yoon is curious why Won-soo needs him. Actually, Won-soo wants him to find out more than he knows now. And for now, just assume that ISIS tried to shoot her. Who knows what Do-yoon will find, just keep going. Won-soo just wants to help children who suffer like she did, because of poverty. For this reason, she needs donations from many people. They were shocked when someone knocked on Do-yoon's room. Then Won-soo told the person to come in and Mr. Park was surprised to see the two of them in the room. Won-soo gave the reason that she showed the ISIS video as a threat. So don't fire anyone for now. Mr. Park explains that the deputy leader Yongguk sent him to apologize on his behalf. When Mr. Park plans to hire more people, Won-soo forbids him. Because she only trusted Do-yoon or Q1 because they saved her in Manila. Then Won-soo left the two of them. Mr. Park feels disappointed with Do-yoon because he disappeared with director Oh Won-soo. Do-yoon just kept quiet and asked, what kind of people live in this house? She didn't even attend her mother's funeral. She just wanted to say goodbye to her late mother. Before becoming a bodyguard, Do-yoon was still human. Do-yoon feels that Mr. Park is not the person he used to know. Mr. Park was just annoyed because Do-yoon didn't tell him where he was. He's just worried about Do-yoon. Then he asked Do-yoon to stay away from Deputy Leader Yongguk for a while. Do-yoon enters a casino and sees that there is CCTV in the casino. Then he wanted to enter the casino boss's room, but was blocked by the guards there. Then Do-yoon asked the man to convey to his boss that he was a person from Wing. Hearing that, the casino boss was shocked and checked the CCTV. Then the boss asked to say they didn't know. Then the boss of the 8-star casino called Mr. Park and said that a new person from Wayne came to the casino. And Mr. Park asked him to send the CCTV footage to him. Then Mr. Park saw the video and he was annoyed when he found out that he was Do-yoon. Won-soo met her brother at Now Foundation office. She asked, what are the risks if Cosmo Cosmetics does not get permission to do business in China? Her brother replied, then their 200 billion won investment would be wasted. And Yeomin from Cosmo will look like a fool. And Won-soo thought that Chairman Park's plan would fail.
그럼 바로 가서 뵐게요.
Mr. Park calls Do-yoon to his office. Then Mr. Park showed Do-yoon the CCTV footage. He asks what Do-yoon is doing there. He is sure that Do-yoon knows there is CCTV there, so Mr. Park is surprised because it seems he went there on purpose. Do-yoon admitted that he had seen Mr. Park at the 8-star Fortune Casino in Manila. They are a well-known gang and Mr. Park knows their activities. Then Do-yoon asked whether Mr. Park had anything to do with Ju-yuk's death. The 8-star gang carried out gambling, drugs and assassin. Mr. Park is angry because he is accused of hiring an assassin. Then Do-yoon asked for an explanation about the suitcase containing the money that he gave on Jungkook's orders. Mr. Park explained that he was only carrying out his duties to launder Jungkook's money. If Do-yoon joins Wayne just to investigate Ju-yuk's death, so Do-yoon is in the wrong place. Then Do-yoon asked, where did Chairman Kim die? That's why Ju-yuk died. Ju-yuk investigates Chairman Kim's death and that the chairman's heart attack was just a fabrication. Actually, what was the reason someone killed Ju-yuk? Then Mr. Park explained that Chairman Park died while having sex. So, his body was moved to the house, so that he would not be mobbed even after his death. Heart attacks and deaths during sex are more or less the same. Is it wrong to make it seem like he died peacefully at home? Mr. Park's position is very difficult because there are many secrets and things that you have to pretend not to see and hear. But Do-yoon even suspects him of killing Ju-yuk. Mr. Park can no longer protect Do-yoon from now on. He asked Do-yoon to quit the job. And Do-yoon said that he would find Ju-yuk's killer. Won-soo sent a message to Do-yoon to come to the employee dining room. Mrs. Bayan saw Won-soo's CCTV and came to see her. Won-soo felt more comfortable in the employee dining room. Do-yoon comes and will prepare snacks for Won-soo. Then Won-soo asked Mrs. Bayan to rest and she left the two of them. Do-yoon tells her that according to Mr. Park, Chairman Kim died while having sex. Won-soo was shocked because Do-yoon asked Mr. Park so bluntly. Is it okay to tell Mr. Park everything? Do-yoon explains that if Mr. Park is related to this, then they will also go after him. Won-soo asks Do-yoon to investigate Mr. Han, because he is responsible for managing all tactical funds.
그걸 안 드시고 참.
In Won-soo's room, she remembers when Do-yoon asked her to be his girlfriend and also their time together. It looks like Won-soo felt the flutter of love when she was with Do-yoon. Won-soo shoots cosmetic product advertisements. And when the ad was shown, many people liked it. The moisturizing stick that Oh Won-soo uses is sold out. Young-min, his wife and also Chairman Park became angry when they saw the advertisement. It seems like Won-soo did that on purpose to fight them. Won-soo has ruined their cosmetic product business deal. Because today is the release date for Young-min's Cosmo cosmetic products. Young-min asked Won-soo to get the Chinese Food and Drug Inspection Agency to approve the sale of Cosmo cosmetics. Because Young-min was being rude, Jung-guk asked him to leave. Then Young-min threatened that if things got messy, he would kill them all.
최선을 다하겠습니다.
Won-soo visited the children under Nal Foundation. They ate together and the children gave Won-soo a painting as a gift. They also accompany Won-soo when she is going home. Suddenly, in the middle of the road, a deer passed by and caused their car to swerve. Then Do-yoon drove the car. He saw many drones following them. And the drone was trying to hit the car. What will happen to them? See you again in Red Swan episode 6. Thank you.